nice to see you too.
I love your new digs, by the way.
Thank you.
Amazing.
And you guys have a lot to celebrate right now. You have 10 years on this show,
Yes.
on the Scarborough Show, Joe Scarborough Show, Morning Joe. And this summer you got engaged. I have to say, how do you stand each other all day long and at night?
You know, they say that absence makes the heart grow fonder.
We wouldn't know what that feels like.
We don't know what like, seriously, we work all the time. We're together all the time.
It's fun.
I don't know if I could pull that off.
You know what's so funny is
You could do it.
What's so funny is I told Mika all along that, you know, my parents worked together.
Yeah, oh, they did?
Oh.
And I was like, how do they do that?
Yeah.
Because I was just like you. It's like it would drive you crazy, but
It's a lot.
It works.
What we do is really fun, though. Our job doesn't feel like work. I mean, it really is a fun conversation. We love everybody we work with. And in this business, that's really, I mean, you guys do it, but it's hard to accomplish.
But you two don't even agree with each other
No.
politically, really.
God.
So that may be spicy for you, maybe.
More lately. Oh, my God.
We have, there's been a coming together lately.
No.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
All right.
I know.
Did you, so like, when you had him on the show, because he was on quite a bit for a while,
Right.
did it ever occur to you he was going to shift up on you as he had on other people?
You mean like turn on us?
Oh,
Yeah.
yes.
Absolutely.
You know,
So you knew this was coming.
Anybody that's known Donald knows it's all transactional. So he called one day early on, like in 2015, like, Joe, you've got the greatest show in the world. I love your show. And at that time, I said, yeah, Donald, and tomorrow, when we say something you don't like, then we will be the worst human beings on the face of the earth.
Right.
And it happens.
Right.
It's all
And
transactional.
Can we just say that there is an obsession with Mika?
Oh,
Can
my
we
God.
just say it?
And it's been that way
From
from
the
the
video.
very beginning. And, you know, people are like, why is he always so mean to Mika?
He's attracted to you, maybe.
Yeah,
He loves
it
her.
was the
Oh,
same
my God,
thing.
yeah.
Even
That's
before
it.
he ran for president, I won't show you. I mean, he would walk up on the set, and I'd be like, walk past me, and they'd be like,
Don't do it.
"Ugh."
You can't
Don't
actually
do
do
it.
it. It's
Can't
pornographic.
actually show you
What he
how
did to you was
hugged her.
pornographic?
No,
It
not
was just
pornographic. It's a
handsy.
funny
Did he
way to
grab you
hug.
by the-
Handsy.
Oh, sorry.
Like a hug.
But we should talk about the individual
You know what,
tweets.
you know what she's
right?
talking about.
Yeah. So they laugh a
exactly.
little too knowingly.
But the individual tweets, I mean, he were pretty significant. He said, I heard poorly rated Morning Joe speaks badly of me.
People love
Don't
reading.
watch anymore. Then how come low IQ, crazy Mika, along with Psycho Joe, came
That
to
rhymes, by the way.
Mar-a-Lago?
Psycho Joe
Yeah.
rhymes. I'm gonna
3
call my
nights in
band
a
that.
row around New Year's Eve and insisted on joining me. She was bleeding badly from a facelift. I said,
He's
no.
got the blood
I
issue.
hate it when that happens.
He actually said that. How did that make you feel? What did you think?
You know, I thought it was. No, I think it's a form of cyberbullying.
It is
I would call
cyberbullying.
it presidential face shaming. And so I will say I laughed out loud. At the time, for me, it was a time in my life. I'm 50. I just lost my dad. I said this the next day on the air. It didn't hurt me. I will say everybody was upset about it.
freaked out.
People, this was a big no. Democrat, Republican, no matter where you came from, people thought
What
this
was so crazy
awful.
was for the next 3 or 4 weeks, we'd be walking down the streets and people would come up crying to Mika and say, we're so sorry.
And I'd be like, he was a great man.
yeah, and they go,
Thinking
no,
they're
we're
talking about
not talking about your father that passed away. We're talking about the tweet.
I know.
Yeah.
So for
And
me,
we're
it
like,
was weird.
what? No.
But don't you think he picks
Weird
on
time.
women even more? And it's all about the blood with women. I never hear the blood reference with men.
What is that?
I don't know. He's a nut.
Okay.
You mentioned cyberbullying.
Did she say that or you?
I didn't say it this time, but they'll get me.
Thank
Yeah,
God.
yeah.
All right. I'm
What
glad
did you
said
think
that.
of Melania's cyberbullying speech at the UN?
Look, I saw that there was a little heat at the table here over this, and I don't get it. I mean, do you guys know that she's married to the guy who tweeted that I was bleeding badly from a facelift?
Yeah.
I mean, among other things, the guy is a bully.
Yeah.
The guy is a bully up and down. Whether it's verbal, whether it's written, whether it's tweeted,
Right.
he's
Well, and
rude
you know-
and he's mean to people. And I think it's strange that the First Lady of the United States would make a speech on such a platform, just completely not discussing the fact that her husband, the President of the United States, is a bully. It's crazy.
Well, and one of the reasons we weren't surprised about this was because in the spring of 2016, he had sent out a series of really nasty tweets about us as well, and called Mika neurotic, and just said a lot of really awful things. Again, more personal towards her than towards me, despite the fact I've said, and Mika always comments, but I've said harsher things at times. I've written Washington Post op-eds, and I did it going all the way back to early in the campaign, that he was a racist, that he was a bigot, that he was that he was going to destroy the Republican Party, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he's like, hey, Joe, how are you? You know, Mika raises a left eyebrow, and suddenly he just goes crazy.
I have to ask you this. It's out of order. Why did the Republicans continue to back this guy up? Are those tax cuts so important to Paul Ryan? He's got to get them no matter what.
You know, you can go back to the day that Paul Ryan endorsed Donald Trump. And Meek and I were on the show saying you just made a terrible mistake.
Right.
You're going to get nothing in return for it. You are now going to be owned by this guy. And what I think the biggest mistake Republicans have made from the beginning is they go, oh, he's crazy. We can't, and they'll say this, we can't be reasonable with him. We can't, well, bullies understand force. Bullies understand like guidelines and guardrails. And this Republican Party has never, ever stood up to him. They would be shocked if somebody finally did and said, hey, listen, you want to take me on? Take me on. Come down to my district. And tell the people that are going to be kicked off of Medicaid, tell the kids with pre-existing conditions, come to my district and tell them why your plan is better than mine. Come on, Donald. You know, let's go. But they won't do it because they're always running scared, and that's why he owns them.
But they're collaborators in a way.
Well, they're going along with it, and they get what they deserve.
Losers.
And you know, the thing is, it's not like this was a shock. Everybody saw this coming along.
No, everybody didn't see it coming. And they didn't want to see it coming because they believed that what they were being sold by everyone, a lot of media, including all the networks we can think of, who put him on time after time after time after time and normalized this guy, this bullying behavior. No one stood up and said, hey,
well, nobody in the party did.
No, I have to take a break, but they're not leaving yet.
No,
we have more
yet.
we're going to have more with Mika and Joe in just a second, so stay right there.
With Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski.
And you made a big announcement this year about leaving the Republican Party and becoming an independent. Is that official now?
Well, I mean, yeah.
You have to go to town hall.
I still haven't had time to go to town hall and mark independent, but yeah, I'm leaving the party.
And what was the final straw? Because there were a lot of instances we've spoken about on this show.
You know, I think it's been over 15 years. And Nicole, who you guys all know, Nicole Wallace said it best, saying,
they love her.
I'm tired of the debate between whether it's a conservative Republican Party or a moderate Republican Party. I'm just tired of a stupid Republican Party. And when you look at the fact that they're pushing health care plans that have like 15, 16, 17% approval rating, they're trying to reorder 1/6 of the economy without having a single hearing, without knowing how much it costs. I can tell you the type of conservative I am, which is a small government conservative, that's suspicious of a big government controlling all of our lives. To make that sort of jump without knowing what you're doing, that's not conservative, that's radical. And unfortunately, the party has not been about conservative values for a long time. The deficit doubles under Republicans, the national debt doubles under Republicans. It ain't great under Democrats either. But
it's better.
But yeah, exactly.
It's better. Let's do a fun subject: the Mueller investigation. Okay.
I bet that is fun for you.
Oh, yeah. It's like Watergate all over again. I'm watching and I'm glued to it. So he's getting a little closer now with Manafort and all this other stuff. But do you think what he's doing with Manafort is going to actually lead to the White House? Say yes.
Oh, yes, Joy, yes.
What do you really think?
I don't think it looks good
Yeah.
every day, but you don't get ahead of it. I think that's our challenge, is to stay with what we know.
Yeah.
And it doesn't look good.
That's right.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I remember all the Clinton investigations, and it was Republicans would always burst through the door and say, "We've got the smoking gun this time," and it wasn't just with Monica; it was with 1,000 different things. So I learned hearing that year after year after year after year. You just sit back and you wait, let Mueller do his job, and
Story speak for
and
itself.
then let the story speak for itself. I don't get it, though. And I
Which
think we
part?
can all say Donald Trump and Russia. I don't understand. He came on our show in December of
During the
2015
campaign.
during the campaign, and he was an apologist for Vladimir Putin. And we said, well, don't you know, he kills journalists, and he still defended Vladimir Putin. You don't attack everybody on the face of the earth, including your own family members at times, and then give Vladimir Putin a free pass for some reason. I don't know what that
It's a
is.
little fishy.
Unless, as you said, Joe, it's transactional.
Yeah. Something.
Well, maybe he still wants to
get
build
ahead
that
of it.
tower.
Yeah.
Well,
Because I really do believe at the end of the day, we can overread too many things. Donald Trump didn't think he was going to get elected. It was about money when he was running the campaign,
Right.
I believe. I think, actually, as horrible as this may sound, I still think it's about money.
Yeah.
I still think he's looking at what happens when he leaves the White House, what projects he can do in Moscow or in Turkey.
But not in New
or-
York. Not in New York.
Yeah.
That persnickety emoluments clause is going to get in his way. But Mika, I've got to ask you about this. We talk a lot about the gender pay gap here,
Yeah.
and we understand that you're working really hard on something.
Yes, big announcement today. Know Your Value. Our next event is October 30th at the Grand Hyatt, right here in New York City. And you can get tickets at knowyourvalue365.com. We're going to have Laura Brown, Bobby Brown, Caddy Kay, Martha Stewart, Sarah Jessica Parker, Joe, Willie Geist, and many, many more. Tracy Anderson. Great conversations, workshops, competitions, all about knowing your value, communicating it effectively, and we need that now more than ever.
But is
in the age
Ivanka
of Trump.
coming? Because that's her platform.
Ivanka is not coming. I will let you know if that changes. I don't think she'd want to, but I think it's going to be an amazing event, and I think the conversation is important now more than ever.
It definitely is. And Joe, you brought something a bit unexpected with you today. Your rock band?
She's
Yeah.
really good.
Because that's what you expect. A 54-year-old cable news host who's really old. That's what you
But
expect
I'm
him
guessing
to
this
do.
isn't new for you. Is this an old
No.
passion? Is this something
it's,
you've always done?
it's funny. It's actually what I've done since I was 10, 11. I never let anybody know it, but I've been writing songs nonstop.
Well,
Wow.
Yeah.
This is the deal. Thanks to Joe Scarborough and Mika Brzezinski. Morning Joe airs weekdays, and for more information on Mika's Know Your Value event, you can go to our website. But stick around for a special musical performance from Joe's band Scarborough.
Woo!